And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel. We post all of our shows and clips of our shows there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, folks. However you want to watch or listen, it's up to you. We've got you covered multiple ways. Just know that the name of the show is Takes by Fans. Alrighty, today is a big old Sunday, 59 minutes away from kickoff, so we're going to run you through all the matchups, give you our final thoughts, who's in, who's out. We've got some news to cover. We also have to kind of quickly break down the games from yesterday. Fitz Magic coming in the clutch, baby. Yes, sir. So we're paying homage with the Fitz Magic beard today. So we're just basically talking, all the games today. And, without further ado, let's just get it right into the stories today. All right. I don't know where this is coming from, folks. I do not know where this is coming from. Mitch has Chicago back in the playoff hunt, possibly. I mean, the Cardinals just lost last night. How crazy is that? And now NFL executives are thinking that the Bears could re-sign Mitch Trubisky, and it's probably like, yeah, they re-signed him as a backup, but this man is not the future of the Bears. This man has put Matt Nagy through the gauntlet the last 3 seasons as this man has been quarterbacking, and did we all just see what this man did last week? It's not like the Bears are winning because Mitch Trubisky's playing good. They ran the ball 35 times last game. They had Mitch Trubisky throw the ball 21 times, and he still managed to throw an interception in the red zone. There's no future with this man, unfortunately. He's not clutch. He's not just good. It's not like he's real good and just not clutch. He's not either of these. So, yeah, if they re-sign him, he's just going to be a backup. He's just going to be on the bench. Like, he's not going to be starting next year, folks. The Bears definitely need to move on at quarterback. That could really solve all their problems, honestly. Alrighty, I'm sure y'all heard the news yesterday. Huge little outbreak of, COVID-19, little contract tracing, high-risk areas here with all the Browns wide receivers. So the Browns are going to have really no good wide receivers here in this game. Jarvis Landry's out, Rashard Higgins is out, Donovan Peoples-Jones is out, Kadarius Hodge is out, and Jacob Phillips are all out today for the Browns against the Jets. Now, this shouldn't really matter too much. I mean, this Browns team has a really good running attack, and Baker Mayfield's kind of playing above average game manager, which is exactly what the Browns have been doing. So, the Browns are going to be heavy running the ball today. That's kind of what they've been doing all season. So, yeah, they're missing a lot of wide receivers, but the Browns should still beat the Jets today. Alrighty, moving on, and this one's kind of been up in the air all week. Washington is going to roll with Dwayne Haskins today and not Alex Smith. Alex Smith is just not ready to go, not fully healthy from his injury. So now Dwayne Haskins is playing, and now look at this, though. Look at this. Hang on, not that one. Not this one either. Here it is. Terry McLaurin, their basically only good wide receiver. He is out, but they do get their running back Antonio Gibson back. So the passing game is going to be absolutely atrocious. Dwayne Haskins, it's unfortunate he's not good, and he's not going to step it up this game. But they do get the running back, so that should help out Dwayne Haskins a little bit. But he can't go to Terry McLaurin, so who are you going to go to in Washington? It's really not going to be a good day passing the ball for Washington, but they do get the running back, so low scoring, kind of quicker, faster game, just running the ball a lot more, not really trusting Dwayne Haskins. And another note on this Dwayne Haskins start this week, he got caught outside of the club, at a club, maskless at a strip club, and then they removed his captain sticker. And now there's a quote of kind of some Washington teammates that they want Dwayne Haskins to kind of go and win the locker room back with his start today. Now, last week he still throws 2 interceptions, not looking really good. I really don't think that, he's kind of the person that just needs some extra outside motivation to really step up his game. So even with, his teammates really counting on him and, putting that pressure on him, hey, you kind of let us down, but, go make up for it by winning this game. This beer is killing me, y'all. I got like hair in my mouth, bro. I'm not going to be able to finish the show with this beard, but yeah, so Dwayne Haskins, man. I just don't think he's going to have that outside motivation to really kind of jumpstart his game today, and especially without Terry McLaurin, folks. It's just not going to work. So I don't know what's going to happen with Washington's game today. We'll still see where the line is and if we like Carolina with the points today. Even with all those Browns wide receivers being out, all games are going to be played. That Browns game is still going to be played, so we're still good here. All the games are going to be played. All right, let's go to quickly some inactives and actives. Tyreek Hill active, Allen Robinson active, Hollywood Brown and Daniel Jones all active today. And then Christian McCaffrey's out. We knew that. Julio Jones is out. We kind of already knew that. We didn't expect him to play. Mark Ingram is out for the Ravens. Now, that's pretty big. Tyler Boyd out for the Bengals. Golden Tate's out. Duke Johnson's out. Jarvis Landry, we know, is out. And James Robinson is out, I believe, for the Jags. So some key inactives, but we kind of already knew all these going into this week and when we did our picks. So really no surprise here. All right, McLaurin's out. Antonio Gibson's in. All right, here we go. Texans, a second player has been placed on the COVID-19 list, and once again, it's on the defensive end of the ball for the Texans. This defense is not that good, and they're getting even worse. The outside linebacker's out, and now the safety's out. So once again, we love Bengals plus 7.5 even more now. Love it. That's going to be the huge hit of the day. I'm telling y'all, Bengals plus 7.5. If it's still plus 7.5, I'm assuming it's probably going to come down a little bit, but once again, we'll check what the actual line is right before kickoff and still kind of go with the Bengals plus the points. Alrighty, and then yesterday we all saw Tua gets benched. That was the right decision. Fitzpatrick comes in, and Tua, I mean, look at this, hyping up Fitzpatrick, no love lost. Hey, this is a team game. I wasn't getting it done. You just did, and I'm all here for you. You root me on when I'm on the field. I root you on when you're on the field. Brian Flores has an incredible kind of foundation here, a nice culture, everybody buying in, and it takes everybody on that roster to win games, and the Dolphins are doing it. They're playing all their players, and you love to see it. Alrighty, and then here we go, the final story we'll talk about, and then we'll start recapping the games from yesterday. Dolphins head coach Brian Flores said that Tua will start against the Buffalo Bills in Week 17. Now, all right, let's kind of take a step back. I really think Ryan Fitzpatrick has earned the starting job yesterday. He earned it for the rest of the playoffs, the rest of the season. Let this man carry it out. It's not because Tua's bad and shouldn't be starting. It's just that these weapons, there's no help to a rookie quarterback. These aren't great wide receivers that can get open. I mean, Devontae Parker, our number one wide receiver, he's always out with an injury, so you can't really rely on him. So in our number two wide receivers, 5'10", so it's not like we've got tall wide receivers. So our wide receiver core is no strength. It's not helping Tua. It wouldn't help any starting quarterback. Like if Justin Herbert was on the Dolphins, I mean, he wouldn't have success with this wide receiver core. These are the wide receivers that you need, a kind of a veteran, a tried, trusted veteran to go out and make these throws and make these passes so these players can catch the ball in very tight situations. So I really think Ryan Fitzpatrick should start the rest of the season, and it's not a knock on Tua. It's just that this offense, these offensive weapons, these wide receivers are doing no justice to Tua. They're having drops. They're having, they can't get open. So putting Ryan Fitzpatrick in there, who can, he's a gunslinger and he knows, he's been in the league forever. He's a tried, trusted veteran. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick kind of deserves this. He just saved us last week. He's still part of this squad. He's still good. He does turn the ball over, which is not very good. Maybe you start subbing in Tua in red zone situations, but then, from the 20 to the 20, you have Ryan Fitzpatrick go out there. So I would like to kind of see Ryan Fitzpatrick start, and once again, it's not a knock. He is the quarterback of our future. I still believe in him. He's got great accuracy. It's just, we kind of need some weapons, and he's only 8 games in, folks. So we'll see what happens. And I also don't like this. I see a lot on Twitter, Tua should start, but, if he's not getting it done, just throw Ryan Fitzpatrick in there mid-game. Like, that's going to happen every game. I mean, if you put Ryan Fitzpatrick back in that same situation from last night, 19 seconds left, I highly doubt he can go and do that same thing again and replicate it. So it's not like Ryan Fitzpatrick is just going to be like, okay, I'm in, I'm just slinging it, I'm scoring every single time. That's not going to happen in every single circumstance. circumstance. So it's not like you can just, Tua's not playing, let's go back to, let's go and get bailed out by Ryan Fitzpatrick again. So we'll see what happens, but Brian Flores is indicating that Tua's going to be playing against the Bills. Alrighty, we are going to kind of skip our NBA portion of the show. I mean, this is kind of our live kickoff show for football, and it's still early in the NBA season, so we've still got plenty of time to talk about NBA, but we are going to still be focusing on the NFL for today. So we are going to jump into the games from yesterday, and we'll start here with the Bucks and the Lions, and that is classic. If you have ever wondered if coaching matters in this league, yes, it does. The Lions coaches were just, shuffled around. A lot of them, were out because of high contact risk of COVID-19. So it was like, the quarterback's coach was now the offensive coordinator. Some assistant coaches were on the defensive end, and then we see what happens when defensive coaches who usually aren't, coaching defense has to go and coach defense. It got ugly quick right from the rip. Basically, Tom Brady didn't even play in the second half, and this is still what he put up. 22 of 27 for 348 yards, 4 touchdowns and no picks. That was all in the first 2 quarters, folks. That man got benched in the second half at the start of the third quarter because they were blowing out the Lions. What is this? 36-0 at halftime, 34-0 at halftime, folks. In this Lions team, Matt Stafford goes down a little bit. And, they bring in Chase Daniel, and this Detroit Lions offense isn't good, and they're not good with Kenny Galladay out, and they're definitely not good when Matt Stafford's not the quarterback. So they get absolutely blown out. Now, what I do like about this Bucs team, they finally went to all their weapons, and Tom Brady was going to all their weapons. Look at these leading wide receivers for the Bucs, folks. Mike Evans, leading wide receiver, 10 catches for 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. Finally. This is what the man can do, and Tom Brady never goes to Mike Evans on like a consistent basis. So to see this, 10 receptions, 181 yards, absolutely love it. Chris Godwin, number 2, 5 receptions, 84 yards. Rob Gronkowski, 2 receptions, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns. Antonio Brown, 4 receptions, 35 yards and a touchdown. So he's going to all of his weapons, and you love to see it. Big win for the Bucs here. Really kind of solidifies their playoffs spot. Tom Brady's got some confidence here. This is going to be good momentum for the Bucs going into week 17, going into the playoffs, and Tom Brady maybe hitting his stride here at the perfect time of the season. But once again, we kind of have to take everything in this game with a grain of salt because it was Detroit, coachless Detroit. Matt Stafford-less Detroit, Kenny Galladay-less Detroit, and you would expect a blowout. So Bucs get the win there, 47-7. Holy cow. Alrighty, and then Arizona. Holy cow. At home, and you can only put up 12 points. What do we say about Arizona Cardinals? They can only score when they go to DeAndre Hopkins. So before we even look at any stats, we know the Cardinals put up 12 points. So I'm guessing DeAndre Hopkins is held under like 60 yards and no touchdowns. Let's see what we get here. And he's probably also not the leading wide receiver for the Cardinals. Let's see if kind of our hypothesis that we've been building and writing and kind of rewriting all season on this Cardinals team. Let's see if it's correct here. Leading wide receiver is not DeAndre Hopkins, and he's held under 50 yards. Classic. That's why they didn't put up, 28 points, 35 points, because DeAndre Hopkins, the Cardinals need him to score points. That's it. They rely so heavy on DeAndre Hopkins, and when he isn't the leading wide receiver, they don't put up points and they don't win the game. And here it is again this game, folks. DeAndre Hopkins, 3rd leading wide receiver, 8 receptions. They went to him a lot, but only for 48 yards. So what is that, like 5 yards a carry? Nothing great, and no touchdowns, no points for that man. That's just classic, folks. We know this. We know this about the Cardinals. So Cardinals in jeopardy of losing that 7th seed to the Chicago Bears. We could see Mitch Trubisky in the playoffs, folks. It's real bizarre this season in the NFC. All right, the running attack, Kyler Murray, 8 carries for 75 yards. That was still decent. His passing, 31 completions, 50 attempts for only 247 yards. A little bit of a dink and dunk game for Kyler Murray, but his legs helped out. Kenyon Drake, the running attack, he didn't really do anything big here. 18 carries, 45 yards and a touchdown. Nothing great. Under that 3 yards a carry average that you at least want to have. And Kyler Murray also turned over the ball, so not good. Let's see where his interception came. Believe it came at the end of the game here. They're down 21-12 in the fourth quarter. They've got 8 minutes, and they are driving. They're on the 49ers' 14-yard line, and Kyler Murray, unclutched, throws an interception, unfortunately, and that basically seals the game. The Cardinals had one more drive to do something, but they can only go 17 yards and 4 and out. What is that? 6 and out. So unfortunate for the Cardinals. They are a little bit of pretenders, and we've been calling this out for the past 3-4 weeks now. Yes, they had a very good first 7-8 weeks, looking real good, but then they just defenses figured out, they can only score when they go to DeAndre Hopkins. Let's shut him out, and when they do, they don't win games and they don't put up points. Now let's congratulate the 49ers here. What a great win. And it's because Nick Mullins didn't play. C.J. Beathard is 100% better than Nick Mullins, and he kind of showed it yesterday. Not great completion percentage, but 13 of 22 for 182 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, just playing game manager, and I can respect the heck out of that, folks. Know your role, know your positioning. This is a team game. There's 3 sides of a football game. There's really 4. You could probably keep going, expanding, but offense, defense, special team, and coaching, folks, all 4 of those phases matter in all these games. So quarterback is just going out there and being a game manager. No turnovers. I don't even think he fumbled. He did fumble once. Ooh, let's see where this fumble came. He did fumble once and lost it. So C.J. Beathard fumbles really at the end of the half, and no consequences because the Cardinals had no time to really do anything. So not a horrible time to fumble. Obviously, you don't want any turnovers, but when you get bailed out by your defense or the end of the half, you can kind of relax a little bit on don't put too much negativity on that. I can't think of the words right now, but hopefully y'all can catch the point. All right, let's keep going here. The running game, look at this. Jeff Wilson, 22 carries for 183 yards. That's why C.J. Beathard was doing so well, because the run opens up the pass, folks. That's all you have to be. When the run game is working, your defense is working, just be a game manager. That's what he did, so I love it. Alrighty, George Kittle's first game back, and he was doing George Kittle things. 4 receptions, 92 yards, and look at this, folks. George Kittle was the number 1 wide receiver for the 49ers with 92 yards. The second leading wide receiver for the 49ers was Jerick McKinnon with only 28 yards. So we go from 92 to 28. Big disparity there. We know who C.J. Beathard loves to go to, right? And he loves to go to George Kittle. So well done by the 49ers. Huge game here. Cardinals probably going to miss the playoffs now, and it is unfortunate. I would have liked to see Kyler Murray in there, but they have to find other ways to score the ball, to move the ball, besides just Kyler Murray's legs and throwing it to DeAndre Hopkins 20 times a game. So we'll see how they do. We'll see if they can get into the playoffs, kind of close out the season good, winning next week. The Bears losing one of the 2 weeks. We got to see what happens. Alrighty, in the last game of the night, probably the best game of the night, right? No bias here. Dolphins getting the win in dramatic fashion, 26-25. Huge win. Knocks the Raiders out of the playoff contention. There's no longer any scenario where the Raiders can get in, unfortunately for them. Let's start here with the Dolphins. Yes, Tua struggled heavily, mightily. We have no wide receivers for a rookie quarterback, and he's just not making the plays. So he does get benched. He went 17 of 22. Once again, the completion percentage is there. He's still making, safe throws, but, when you have a rookie with no weapons, that's what you get, even safer than safe throws. This man had 45 yards passing in the first half with 10 completions. That's not even dink and dunk. I don't even know what that is. There's not even a word for that. That's less than dink and dunk is never good. So Tua goes 17 of 22, 94 yards, touchdown, no picks, and I don't think he fumbled either. Very well done. So he didn't turn over the ball, just trying to be a game manager. But, we weren't really getting any output on our offense at all. So you really can't be a game manager when there's no running game or anybody else is really picking up the points. The defense wasn't like turning the ball, getting turnovers to create short fields for Tua, where, we know he thrives because we've been seeing that all season. So Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in, and then he goes 9 of 13 for 182 yards. 4 incompletions. 9 completions for 182 yards. That's the reverse of dink and dunk. That is the total opposite of what Tua did. And he throws the game-winning, or not the game-winning, but, a huge touchdown there. And he leads us to that big throw, the face mask, the extra 15 yards. So in 19 seconds, he goes from, I think we started at the 25. We got it down to like the 26-yard line. Huge for him to do that in 19 seconds. Great pass, great penalty, and it all came together. So well done to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Dolphins also had all their running backs back. Myles Gaskin's first game back, 14 carries, 87 yards. He had that huge explosive run to the outside to really kind of set up Ryan Fitzpatrick's game-winning field goal drive. So well done to him. All right. What else we got? Our leading wide receivers was Myles Gaskin, our running back. 5 receptions, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. Well done. Then we had Mike Gesicki, 4 receptions, 54 yards. He had some huge catches by balls thrown by Ryan Fitzpatrick, so well done to him. And then Jakeem Grant, our third leading wide receiver, 5 receptions for 43 yards. Huge ending. Bend but don't break Dolphins defense. Look at that. When the Raiders, were in the red zone on that kind of final drive here. Right, this one. Starting at 2:55, Dolphins have 2 timeouts. Defense bends, and they're bending, and the Raiders are going down to the 1-yard line, but they don't give up the touchdown. They give up the field goal, and they still leave 19 seconds on the clock. So well done, giving your offense at least some little bit of hope. That's all you can ask for your defense. So well done by the Dolphins defense, not bending or not breaking. And they also kept up their turnover streak. They were like 19 straight games with the turnover. So they not only do they get the win, they keep their turnover streak on the very last play of the game, because the last play of the game was a lateral and they fumbled it and the Dolphins recovered. So they still have their turnover. Very well done, keeping streaks alive, getting the win. Everything came together for the Dolphins in literally the last 20 seconds of this game. All right, let's quickly talk about the Raiders here. Derek Carr, he played turnover-free football. Incredible against this Dolphins defense. For that, I kind of applaud Derek Carr. Very well done. I thought he would have at least 1 turnover this game, but he didn't. Kind of crazy. So this man went 21 of 34 for 336 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. He really had a fantastic game. And the only reason why the Raiders lost, could you call it the play calling? It's unfortunate. It is a good strategy. It's still a solid strategy. Giving the ball back to your opponent with 19 seconds left, just with no timeouts, just play good defense. But then they get the penalty, the wide open throw, the blown coverage. So it's really not John Gruden's play call. Being conservative in that option, I see that all the time, so let's not knock John Gruden for a bad play call. Yes, he was kind of playing not to lose the game, which is never great, but hey, it's still a strategy, and it still works 9 times out of 10. Unfortunately, this was the 1 time out of 10. It just happens. It's unfortunate. Let's go to Josh Jacobs now. Pretty solid game by him as well. 13 carries, 69 yards. Not bad. Now let's see who Derek Carr was going to, because the Dolphins literally could not stop either of these players. Nelson Aguilar, 5 receptions, 155 yards and a touchdown. Darren Waller, 5 receptions, 112 yards, no touchdowns. But, the height and the speed of these receivers for the Raiders, the Dolphins just could not keep up. They were just giving up the big play, and it sucked. But, they ended up still winning the game. So, unfortunate for the Raiders. Really good game. They really played a really good game. They kind of deserved to win. But, when Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in, Fitzmagic for a reason. Even Tua said it. He's like, we really shouldn't even be surprised because the man's name is Fitzmagic. Truly. So the Dolphins get the win by 1 point. How crazy. Game-winning field goal. Well done to Jason Sanders. 44-yard game-winning field goal. He will be on the cash list, no doubt. Game-winning field goals, we love that here. So, Alrighty, we are now, 35 minutes away from kickoff. So that was all yesterday. Now let's start talking about today's matchups. What do we like? Do we still like what we like? Do we not like what we like anymore? And then, best bets. Do we like any bets? Have the lines really changed? So let's go here. Let's refresh these lines. We get up to the minute lines here, and we'll quickly review what our official picks that we did on Friday were, and kind of see, do we still like these picks? Did we get good value by locking it in early? Did we not, or kind of did we get screwed? Did something go up and we could have got even more points? So let's see all of this. Our official picks are. Our three locks are Bengals +7, Broncos +3.5, and Eagles -2.5. And our 99% guarantees are Colts -1.5, Seahawks -1, and Titans +3.5. So here we go. For the last, 34 minutes of the show, we're just going to be talking about today's matchup. So here we go. We got the lines refreshed, and we'll start here with Falcons and Chiefs, and this one's climbed half a point. I think it started at 10.5, and we still love Chiefs -11. Take them all the way up to that 20.5 kind of under 3 touchdown hook. This Falcons offense isn't that great. Now, Julio Jones isn't playing, so the Falcons offense should be playing better than usual, because that's what we get when Julio Jones doesn't play. The Falcons offense actually does better for some reason. I don't get it. Calvin Ridley is still very good. He can be a number 1 wide receiver, so maybe that's the case. Chiefs looking to kind of secure that number 1 seed. They're at home. Everything's kind of really going right for them lately. I can't see this Falcons defense really stopping the Chiefs. Look at that Falcons defense last week, giving up 31 second half points against the Bucs. This Chiefs team, folks, the speed alone is going to kill the Falcons. So we still like the Chiefs. We like them -11. Let's see what we get here. Our favorite prop bet to do is points by a team in the first half. Have a very good hit rate on these. So let's see if we get anything good here. You never take anything over 13.5. That's kind of our golden rule. So Chiefs already had over 16.5. We'll stay away from that. And Falcons over 10.5 or over 9.5. I really don't think I can't put too much stock in this Falcons offense anymore, folks. They're very hit and miss. And all their kind of hits come when Julio Jones isn't playing. So, yes, they probably could have a game, but they're also on the road. And this Chiefs team, they're one of the best offenses in the league. So I can't even think that this Falcons offense will get it done on the defensive end of the ball either. So we're going to stay away from kind of some of these points here in the first half. But I still like, Chiefs all day by a big margin there. Alrighty, then we got Giants and Ravens. And, as we saw, Daniel Jones is playing plus for the Giants. Jason Garrett's back calling plays offensively. Another check for the Giants. But they're facing the Ravens. And I don't know if Daniel Jones is 100% healthy. We saw him last week when he wasn't 100% healthy, and that man did not look comfortable in the pocket all game long. So I still don't think he's healthy. I'm not going to take an injured Daniel Jones on the road versus this Ravens defense, and then the explosiveness of this Ravens offense. So we see this line coming down because of the news by Daniel Jones and Jason Garrett. That's why this line has come from, I think it was like 10.5, like the Chiefs and Falcons game is, but it's now come down to 9.5, and we still like it. The Ravens don't really need Mark Ingram. They're still kind of deep with Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. They can still get it done. So still like the Ravens big. Once again, I kind of like them at the 20.5 point as well, -20.5. I still think it's going to kind of be a blowout. Now, this Giants defense is pretty decent. They held Russell Wilson to under, I think they scored 12 in the game and 10 offensively. So, they do have the ability to do that. They're still fighting for the division, but they're on the road. I get that. They went into Seattle and did what they did against the Seahawks there. I get that. But this is a little bit different of an offense. We kind of seen the Seahawks offense kind of go up and down this season. This Ravens offense is always up. except for that one game where they all had COVID and nobody played. Then they were down a little bit, even a little bit. So still love the Ravens here. -9.5, love it. -20.5, like it. Giants, I can't trust an injured Daniel Jones. I like Daniel Jones when he's 100% healthy, but when he's 99% healthy, it's just not that good. So still love the Ravens here. They're still fighting to get into the playoffs. I mean, seeing the Dolphins win this week is going to light an even bigger fire, because now it's going to all come down to week 17 if the Ravens win this week. So Ravens still have a chance to make it in the playoffs. Giants also still have a chance, but it's an injured Daniel Jones on the road. We're going to stay away from the Giants this week. All right, let's see if we get any good value here by teams, by points by team in the first half. Ravens over 13.5. Love it, love it, love it. Or no, that's, yeah, total. Hey, what? This has got to be a mix-up. Total points by the Ravens in the first half, 13.5. And total points by the Giants in the first half, over 16.5? That's not right. Oh, total points. Hang on, I'm not reading these right. Total points by the Giants. Okay, over 16.5. Do they not give a spread for the Giants in the first half? This is weird. I've never seen that. So I guess we can only take Ravens over 13.5. I mean, Vegas doesn't even think that the Giants are going to be putting up more than 17 points in the entire game. The Ravens can go put up 40 whenever they want. That's real bizarre. Wow. Okay, so yeah, Ravens over 13.5 points in the first half. Like it. I like it. I endorse it. We'll take it. I'm telling y'all, this is going to be Ravens big, I think. I think it's really going to be big. It's going to be a blowout from start to finish. Yes, this Giants defense is all right, but this Ravens offense is something special, folks. It's truly something special. So we'll endorse Ravens over 13.5 in the first half. Like that, actually. Can't even take the Giants. That's how bad their offense is going to be this week. Vegas isn't even putting out a line for points by a team by the Giants in the first half. So Ravens big today, y'all. Ravens big today. Alrighty, here we go. Chicago and Jacksonville. Jacksonville looking to tank. We see them go from Gardner Minshew last week, who's the best quarterback on the roster, back to Mike Glennon, who's just not clutch, can't get it done in crunch time situations. Bears, they're looking, I mean, they just saw the Cardinals lost. If that's not enough for the Bears to get going this game, I don't know what it's going to be. Mitch Trubisky, keep the ball out of his hands, please. He still throws picks. He still throws them at the worst time. He is very, very unclutch. Now, can he be a game manager? Sure, that's what he's been doing the last 4 seasons here. In all their wins and all their losses, he's just a game manager. Run the ball heavy. The Jags are looking to tank here. Let this Bears defense do all the work, kind of like what the Dolphins have been doing, letting the defense get all the takeaways, making short fields for Tua, make short fields for Mitch Trubisky, and get it done. Get out of there with the win. Now, we are going to stay away from this game, but I still think I like the Jaguars +8. I'm not trusting Mitch Trubisky with -8 points. I'll never do that. And I do think the Jags are tanking, because that's the only reason why you go back to Mike Glennon, because he's proven he can't get it done, where Gardner Minshew proves that, he can get it done sometimes. I mean, he proved it last year. He's still not getting it done this year. But, I mean, there's no reason to make the switch back to Mike Glennon is basically the point. So not trusting Mitch Trubisky, trying to cover 8 points. They're on the road. Probably he's not going to play well. I expect the Bears to run the ball heavy again. So we'll see how it goes. I still think I may like the Jags +8 a little bit here, even though I know they're tanking. How crazy is that? I would rather take points with a tanking team than swallow points by a team that's still fighting to get in the playoffs. I can't trust Mitch Trubisky. It's just unfortunate. Now, I love everything else about the Bears. I love the coach. I love the defense. I kind of like their wide receivers, because Allen Robinson's great, and he's making Mitch Trubisky look even better than what he is. So the wide receiver core there is pretty good by the Bears, but the quarterback is not good. All right, here we go. The prop bet points by a team in the first half. Jaguars over 9.5. They can definitely do that. Mike Glennon slings the ball. It's not like he dinks and dunks. Whenever he plays, he's airing it out. So you do have the potential for some points, some big touchdowns, some big drives by the Jags. So over 9.5 is not a bad bet. Touchdown field goal in the first half. They're at home. They can definitely get it done, especially with Mitch Trubisky. Now, it's really all going to come down to, and we'll see it this week, kind of to help us out for next week, how much are the Jaguars really pushing that tank? I don't know. I don't know how much they're tanking. I don't know if it's like the head coach that's telling kind of everybody, or if it's the players that are kept out of the dark. I don't know. I doubt it's an open kind of secret there that they're tanking. I don't really know their organization, and I don't know what it's like to kind of be in an organization that's tanking. I don't know that, so it's kind of hard to judge it. But Jags over 9.5, not a bad bet. Bears over 14.5, heck no. I don't take anything over 13.5, and I'm definitely not going to do it with Mitch Trubisky. I'm not going to start doing it with Mitch Trubisky. I'll tell you all that. So stay away from kind of some of these, unless you like the Jags over 9.5. Then we will, kind of support that a little bit. Alrighty, let's keep going here. And Browns and Jets, and I kind of wish I knew what this line was at the start, because I think it's coming down a little bit because all the Browns wide receivers are out. But this Browns team, I mean, they run the ball good. So I don't really see the big line drops, the big everybody that's talking about the Jets winning this game. The Browns defense is still very good, and the Browns running game is even better than the defense. And Kevin Stefanski, he's been drawing up plays for success to have Baker Mayfield play good all year. You don't think he can kind of go and still kind of scheme his way even with all his wide receivers being out? I think Kevin Stefanski is a fantastic coach, folks. So I think we have to give the coach more credit. I think we have to give this Browns running game a little bit more credit. I think we have to give the Browns defense a little bit more credit. So yeah, Browns minus 6.5. I still like it even without all the Browns wide receiver, because we know it's not Baker Mayfield going out and winning all the games. What have they got, 10 wins so far this season? Baker Mayfield's not the reason why they've won all those 10 games. Maybe a couple of them alone. Maybe I'll give him, we'll credit maybe 2 games that he's kind of won on his own. But all the other games, kind of the running game. I mean, last week he definitely won the game for them. Almost 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. I think the running backs had like almost about 80 yards combined. So really Baker Mayfield did carry it last week, so I understand that. But still, this Browns running game is very good, folks. Alrighty. Oh, man, this beard is really killing me, y'all. Beard is killing me, but I'm committed to it. So let's finish it out here. Alrighty, Colts and Steelers. All right, hang on. Let's do points by team in the first half here. We get anything good? Let's see what we get here. Team props. All right, Jets over 9.5 points in the first half. Now, that may be good to take because we know that the Jets are real good scoring on their first drive. Scripted plays, scripted drives. They usually cash that in for a touchdown. So you can kind of guarantee 7 points right off the rip for the Jets. Once again, they're also at home. Another plus side for an over 9.5. So they score on their first possession, usually a touchdown. I mean, and then you just got to go the rest of the first half with a field goal. Can they get into field goal position in the between the first quarter, like 7 minutes left in the first quarter, to the end of the second quarter? Yeah, sure, why not? So Jets over 9.5 is still a solid bet. Browns over 13.5. A little bit, maybe stay away from it. Expect maybe a faster paced game because the Browns will probably be running the ball a lot more, even a lot more than usual with all their wide receivers being out. So look for maybe a quicker game. The Browns maybe just getting into field goal position but not picking up kind of that first down to continue the drive. So maybe it stalls around like the 25-yard line by the Jets, the 30-yard line. They get down to the 15, but they just can't punch it in because, the Jets are expecting run and they've got nobody to catch it. So maybe the drive stall a little bit. So I would probably stay away from Browns over 13.5. But yeah, Jets over 9.5. It's solid. It's a solid pick. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here. 22 minutes out from kickoff, so let's try and squeeze all these games in here and also give you guys time to go do whatever you got to do right before kickoff, because I'm telling y'all, we're just sitting here for the entire day, got a couple screens, and just going to be, doing what I did yesterday, just watching football all day. So we'll try to get out here, 5 minutes early. So let's keep going here. Colts Steelers. All right, now this is a little interesting. We see this line coming down a little bit. We locked it in at, I think, Colts minus 1.5. Colts minus 1.5, and we see it coming down a little bit. Now the official line is Colts minus 0.5 point, so you're basically just picking the winner, and I still like the Colts here. We got to see this Pittsburgh offense do something. I mean, it's been, 3-4 weeks since we really saw a good Steelers performance offensively. We're not waiting around for it anymore. Either do it or don't. Do it right now before the playoffs start. But I think we're going to still be rocking with Phillip Rivers. He's playing great football, turnover-free football, which is fantastic for Phillip Rivers because he does have a history of kind of high interceptions. So he's cleaning that up. The running attack for the Colts is really good. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, folks, that's a very good running back duo. I'm telling y'all, this Colts running game is probably third in the league. Ravens 1, maybe Browns 2, and Colts 3. You can make the argument. I'm telling y'all. So, love the Colts offense. Phillip Rivers is kind of winning me over on a weekly basis. I was big out on that man in the beginning of the season. When they lost to the Browns, I was 100% off of Phillip Rivers, but he's slowly winning me back a little bit. We're taking it a little slow with the Colts. We're not buying too much into them just quite yet, but we see a lot of progress by Phillip Rivers not turning the ball over, and we can definitely buy that. Now, the Steelers, what's their problem? Receivers are dropping balls. Big Ben is throwing interceptions, which he has been doing, and the run game can't get off the ground. So 3 big factors of why the Steelers' offense isn't working, and plus their defense is still a little banged up. So they're trying to get healthy. They're trying to get more consistent. A huge game here for the Colts to kind of keep pace. They still can win the AFC South against the Titans, and they can still, win a wild card spot. They can get, up to the 5 seed, or they can drop down to that 7 seed. So huge playoff positioning here for the Colts. I think Phillip Rivers still keeps it up. Now, this Steelers defense is still good, even though they're still banged up. And Phillip Rivers, he has a history in big-time situations of floundering. So that's kind of why it's in our 99% guarantee section. But we're going to still rock with Phillip Rivers in the Colts here today. So we still like the Colts minus half a point here. All right, let's see what we get here. Points by team in the first half. Steelers over 10 or over 9.5, and Colts over 9.5 as well. So I think these are some great value here. 10 points, absolutely. Now, whose do we like a little bit better? Do we like the home team that's struggling offensively, or the road team that's doing pretty good consistently on offense, especially in the first half? I mean, all these troubles that the Colts have offensively all come in the second half. So we absolutely love Colts over 9.5 points in the first half. It's a very solid bet. Touchdown, field goal, good. Bingo, bango. Big Ben's been turning the ball over a little bit more. This Colts defense is not great, but it's a little bit above average, I can say. So maybe you get a Big Ben turnover. That's kind of guaranteed 3 points right there, depending on the field position. So touchdown, field goal, absolutely first half. Even though they're out on the road here today, huge game, huge playoff implications. I think Phillip Rivers gets it done. So we like them straight up. We like them minus half a point, and we like them over 9.5 points in the first half. Alrighty, let's continue on. The next matchup. What do we got? Alrighty, Bengals-Texans, and it's still Bengals plus 7.5. Best bet of the week. I honestly think they win outright, folks. Honestly, I would endorse this straight up bet, but let's just take the 7.5 points just to be safe. Still love them. I mean, what they did last week, that gives you huge momentum, starting to build that winning culture with your backups and not your main quarterback. That's what Brian Flores did last season. They didn't have Tua last year on the roster, and they still built that winning culture. Joe Burrow goes down. They still want to build that winning culture. So when next year, when they get the quarterback and when the quarterback gets healthy, they're good to go. You've already established the winning culture. That's how you take your rebuild from 10 years to 3 to 5 years like Brian Flores. He's got the blueprint. So this Bengals defense even got a lot more momentum of how well they played against the Steelers, literally locking them down, beating up on Juju Smith-Schuster, winning the game. It's all getting into account here this week against this Texans team. Now, we just saw the Texans defense at the top of the show, losing their offensive line or outside linebacker, losing their safety. So their defense is already not good, and they get even worse. Deshaun Watson, he's good against division opponents, but we saw him against the Bears, and he really flounders. He really has no help. He's got Brandon Cooks. That's really it. So, love the Bengals here. I think the defense steps up again. I think the offense plays a little bit of game manager offense, and the defense of the Bengals keeps the game close. We love the 7.5 here, folks. Absolutely love it. I'm telling y'all, best bet of the week, folks. Truly, truly, truly. All right, here we go. Points by team in the first half. Bengals over 9.5. Like it a lot. Texans over 13.5. Going to stay away from it. I don't like this Texans offense anymore. I was big on this Texans offense probably the first 10 weeks of the season, but lately wide receivers are leaving. Kenny Stills is gone. Some are getting suspended for the season. Some are injured. Deshaun Watson's fumbling on the 1 yard line against the Colts. Geeky Cutie's fumbling on the 1 yard on the Colts. So we can't trust anything on this offense, and they don't run the ball good at all, even though they've got some decent runners, decent running backs. So can't trust anything about this Texans offense. Can't trust anything about this Texans defense, but I am trusting the up-and-coming Cincinnati Bengals. Look out for them next year, folks, because if they win out these last 2 games, you can kind of count them winning 10 games next year like the Dolphins have done from last year to this year. The Bengals are following the blueprint if they can win out these last 2 games. So love the Bengals plus 7.5. Love the Bengals over 9.5 points in the first half, folks. Alrighty, next matchup up. What do we got to talk about here? Denver and the Chargers. All right, and this is kind of one of our picks. Denver plus 2.5. Is that right? What would you lock it in at? Oh, it's coming down a little bit. So we locked in great value. Broncos, plus 3.5. That's when we locked it in. That's why you got to listen every day, folks, to get the maximum points, the maximum value. Because we lost a point here. And now it's under that 3 hook. And I don't think I like the Broncos that much anymore. I got them plus 3.5 over that 3-point hook. You want to be over those hooks, folks. You want to be over those hooks. So Broncos plus 2.5 come down a little bit. Chargers, you can't trust them. You can't trust their offense. Did you see what they did? It took them, 4 different attempts late in that Raiders game to win. They blow it 2 times, missing field goals in the fourth quarter. They give up that kind of long field goal drive by the Raiders. And then luckily, Justin Herbert said, fuck it, I'll do it myself, and ran in for the touchdown to finally win a game close, a game where they kind of had a lead, a game where they were kind of blowing it in the fourth quarter, and they finally all got it done. So finally, the Chargers got it done. I don't think this is going to be consistent. I think they kind of go back to the Chargers, I think, this week because, Drew Lock, he hasn't had a good game in a little bit. It's the end of the season. It's against a not great Chargers team. This is Drew Lock's time to shine. He did it last season. This is the time to shine. This Broncos defense, I think I like a little bit better than the Chargers defense, and I can't trust the Chargers offense. I mean, folks, it's every single week. They're blowing leads. They're not putting up points. They're settling for field goals. They're not letting Justin Herbert do Justin Herbert things. He can air it out every single play, folks. Deep threats, use them. You got Keenan Allen. I don't understand why they're losing these close games. So I like the Broncos plus 3.5. Now that it's plus 2.5, don't think you get great value here. You would kind of just say that if you believe that the Broncos are winning or are going to win this game, then yeah, take the 2.5. But it's a little bit, you don't get great value under that 3-point hook. Alrighty, here we go. Points by team in the first half. Broncos over 10.5. Not loving it. And Chargers over 12.5. Once again, not really loving it. We know Justin Herbert has the ability to go score 2 touchdowns in the first half. Absolutely. But how well is he going to do? This Broncos defense is pretty solid. So probably stay away from these. I really think, waiting till Sunday to bet this game was a huge kind of blunder. There's no more value here in this game. If you got it at Broncos over 3.5, very well done. If you don't, these are just 2 kind of below average teams going at it for nothing. So we'll see what happens. But really no value there in those picks, in those spreads, unfortunately. Already 12 minutes away from kickoff, a couple more games here, so let's quickly go through these, get these out of the way. Panthers, Washington. Washington's going to have no passing offense today. Now, this Panthers team, they do good. They do have a good passing offense. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, with all his receivers, they get the job done. They move the ball. They pick up the third downs. They usually have long drives. I'm talking 5 to 7 minute touchdown drives. That's the Panthers offense without Christian McCaffrey. We'll see how they do next season with Christian McCaffrey, but for right now, Teddy Bridgewater is doing fantastic, not really turning the ball over too much. and just playing very solid football. Washington, Dwayne Haskins, can't trust him. Last week, I was really kind of rooting for this man. He was benched. He didn't take that time to learn. He still kind of floundered. 2 interceptions, really only put up 15 points. Really started to get going in the second half when the defense of Washington stepped up hugely. All right, who's got the better defense here? Washington all day. Who's got more to play for? Washington all day. But I really cannot trust Dwayne Haskins anymore, folks. So this was tough. We were kind of waiting until Sunday to finally figure out who's going to be the starting quarterback before we pick this game. And I really think we have to kind of go Panthers here. It's unfortunate. Now, I do like Washington's defense. That's probably the best thing about Washington. Their defense, then their coach, and then maybe their offense, maybe. But Terry McLaurin's not playing, folks, so Dwayne Haskins going to struggle even more than he did last week. Now, they do have the addition of the running game back, Antonio Gibson. But how well is he going to kind of look his first game back? He's missed, the last 3-4 games? So, going to be real tough here to root for Washington. They kind of want to lock up that NFC East. But, Dwayne Haskins, his teammates are putting pressure on him to step up. I really don't think that's his game, folks. So, we're going to stay away from picking Washington here today. Already points by team in the first half. Do we get anything good here? Washington over 9.5. Panthers over 10.5. Very, very close on each. I just can't trust Washington's offense this game, folks. If Dwayne Haskins comes out and plays fantastic, maybe we can kind of looking at Washington maybe next week if he starts. But for right now, he hasn't shown us anything good, and now there's a lot more pressure on him. I think he flounders, folks. Stay away from Washington this week. Alrighty, let's move on to the next matchup, and we've got Rams-Seahawks. Huge battle here. Winner gets the NFC West. So like the Seahawks here at home, Rams, huge disappointment last week, so expect them to step it up a little bit this week, but I expect the Seahawks defense to really step it up. Jamal Adams these last 3-4 games has been absolutely fantastic. Now, the one knock that we have in the Seahawks, what is their offense doing, folks? I have not seen this offense be good in the last 5 weeks. It's not there's no more big throws to DK Metcalf. There's no more, 40-point games by the Seahawks. There's no more, 350-yard 4 touchdowns, no picks by Russell Wilson. So what the heck is going on? Now, they did get Josh Gordon back this week. We'll see if he's good to go for this game. But there's really no reason the Seahawks offense should be kind of floundering this game. Rams defense, they kind of locked up DK Metcalf in their first meeting, so maybe expect some of that again. See if DK Metcalf can get away. But overall, I think I hate this. I hate it. I hate the Rams offense. How crazy is that? I think that's the first time I've said I hate an offense this season, but I hate the Rams offense. Now, do I like Jared Goff? He's okay. Do I like Sean McVay? Yes. Do I like the Rams weapons? Yes. But they don't put up points. They don't put up any points. So we can't trust this offense consistently. We can't even trust the Seahawks offense consistently, but I know that they have the ability to put up 40 points, where this Rams offense, they really don't have that ability. I don't think they can ever really put up 40 points solidly. So, gonna stay away from the Rams today. Still love the Seahawks minus 1.5. What did we lock? Did we lock it in at 1? What did we lock it in at? Yeah, we locked it in at 1. So 1.5. Really not too much of a difference here. Still like the Seahawks. Alrighty, Eagles Cowboys. We locked this one in at Eagles minus 2.5. Love it. Still love them. Ezekiel Elliott's playing for the Cowboys. That's really all you need to hear. Ezekiel Elliott is going to be playing for the Cowboys, so expect no production and fumbles. Expect that. Eagles, they played great last week. They really did. It's just DeAndre Hopkins had an absolutely monster game, so they lose, unfortunately. But Jalen Hurts is looking good. The Eagles' defense is looking real good. And, this Cowboys offense is one of the worst offenses in the league with as much talent as they have. Andy Dalton's not getting it done. Mike McCarthy's an absolute garbage coach. Now, Tony Pollard's good, but he's going to sit kind of backseat to Zeke today. So, they're one kind of good, bright spot in offense. He's going to be the backup. Crazy. So, Eagles, love them all day. Cowboys at home, I don't care. Eagles, big. This Eagles team is good, folks. Yes, the record's not because Carson Wentz was playing the majority of the season. But Jalen Hurts is real good, folks. He's legit. He's legit. In this Eagles defense, I'm telling y'all, it's top 5 in the league. Top 5. Probably 5, but still top 5 nonetheless. Alrighty, and then the last game, Titans-Packers, and this spread's come down a little bit. So once again, securing great value. Titans plus 3.5. Now it's only Titans plus 3. Still like the Titans here. I think their offense is a little bit more consistent. They're putting up 40 points like every other week. I love it. The running game's unstoppable. Ryan Tannehill's unstoppable because the running game is unstoppable, and everything's really working. So Packers, the one red flag that we have on them that we've been saying all season is the offense flounders sometimes. This Packers offense, in the second half last week, only putting up 3 points. I don't know what it is. I really think it's just Aaron Rodgers getting lazy. He gets a big lead. He throws a touchdown on his first 2 drives. He's feeling good, and then he's like, all right, what else do we got to do? Oh, my goodness. We put up 14 points, and our defense gives up 10. Ugh. 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 Why am I even out here if you're just going to give up points? All right, now I got to go back out here. Now the pressure's back on me, and okay, here's the throw. Let's just try and hit the deep shot. I don't want to play anymore. Let me just hit the deep 75. Oh, we didn't hit it. Okay, let's go. Oh, we went 3 now. Oh, that's how I feel. That's how I feel looking at these Packers games every single week. That's all I can draw conclusions to. It's just something about this Packers offense. They get lazy, they get bored, and they don't play a complete game. Where this Titans team, they really have to play complete games, because they kind of get down early sometimes and they don't kind of show up offensively sometimes. That's the one knock that we have on the Titans. But we'll take the 3. Give me the 3. A team that can put up 40 points even on the road? Yeah. Yes. Give me the 3 points. A team against the Packers who can't really put together a full game together? Yeah. Give me the plus 3 here. So love the Titans. I think I like them straight up. I think they win it. Packers, they do have a lot to play for. They're trying to wrap up that number 1 seed in the NFC. But I love this Titans defense. I love their offense, their coaching, the winning culture that they built, the camaraderie. Everybody buys in. First string buys in, second string buys in. They all buy in. All 53 players on that Titans roster. So love the Titans plus 3 here. Alrighty, we're 5 minutes away from kickoff. We're done. We've talked everything. We talked it all through. Hopefully you guys, can make some money this week. A lot of games to watch. We'll be breaking them all down tomorrow on the show, live noon Eastern. So we're going to get out of here. Hopefully, enjoy your entire day of football. 1s, 4s, 8s. That late game, Titans, Packers. I cannot wait, folks. That's going to be great. Truly, watch that game. If you only watch one game all week, watch Titans, Packers, folks. Alrighty, we're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow.